problems that you might have on your quiz today. You are going to see something similar to number 1. The only thing that you might not see is the graph, but you're going to have the points given. So I'm just showing you here the graph so you have an idea of what I'm asking on the question. So it says evaluate the following function with the given points. So instead of giving you the graph, I'm giving you the points. And it's even easier with the points that you're going to see right now. We are trying to find f inverse of 2. So all we have to do is go to our points and find 2. But we're going to find 2 in our y value. So remember, we have x and we have y. So we're going to go ahead and look at our points and see where we have 2 in our y value. And I see it right here. So then my answer is going to be whatever I have on my x value. My answer is going to be 3.
That's it?
That is all we have to do. Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's asking us for 4. So I'm going to have to find 4 in my y value. So 4, I see it right here. And my answer is going to be the x that is with it. So my answer is 1. And that is all you have to do. Now 0 on my y value. So can anybody tell me what my answer would be?
5.
Perfect. Yes, very good. Thank you. I have 0 right here. My answer is 5. Yes. Okay, any questions on this one? No? All righty. Number 2, it says, give the domain and range of the inverse function. So this already that I have given you here, it's already the inverse function. So you don't have to worry about flipping anything when you write down your answer. Okay, it's already good for you. So for my domain, the only thing I need to look at is my x values. So I'm going to start by writing, not this, my wiggly line. And then I'm going to start from least to greatest. So what will be my smallest number on my x values?
Zero.
Okay, but we have negatives as you can see as well. And the negatives are smaller numbers than 0.
-5.
Perfect, yes, thank you. So you're always gonna write it from least to greatest, and pay attention to this. When you type it in on your quiz, don't leave any spaces between the squiggly line and your numbers. Don't leave any spaces between numbers. Don't have any spaces at all, okay? Otherwise it's gonna mark it wrong. So then from here, I'm gonna use a comma, and then I'm gonna go to the other number. So remember, I'm going from least to greatest, so then it would be 3, -3, and then 0, and then 3, and then 5. Then I close my squiggly line. So I don't, from here, notice how I flip this to, because 3 is smaller than 5. So remember that, from least to greatest. Now the range is going to be my y values. So I'm going to start the same with my squiggly line. And what would be my first number? Out of my y values, which one's my smallest number?
1.
Perfect, thank you. And then?
2.
Yes, and then?
3.
Notice how I have 2 3s, right? I have this one and then I have this one. But that doesn't matter. I only put in 1. Okay, I only write down 1. And then 6, right? And I close it. And remember, no space between them, only commas between them, and you should be fine. Does anyone have any questions on this one?
I'm not sure if you answered it, Miss B, I'm pretty sure you did, but it does say in there, give the domain and range of the inverse function. So the table's already the inverse, correct?
Yes, it's already the
Okay.
inverse. You don't have to switch anything.
Okay, so it's not like the ones in the assignment, guys, where you had to flip it first and then do the domain and range. This one's already been flipped for you. You just do domain and range.
Yes.
Perfect.
And lastly, we have write the inverse of the function. So for whenever we want to write the inverse of the function, we start by using y instead of f of x. So I'm going to write it y equals 2x plus 3. And then I'm going to switch x and y. So I'm going to have x first and then y. And I'm going to solve for y like I usually solve for x. So my first thing to do would be to subtract 3 on both sides. And I'm going to have x minus 3 equals to 2y. Lastly, I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides because I want to solve for y. Oops. And then there are going to be different ways you can write your answer. So I suggest you write all of them so you can compare whenever you are doing your quiz. So we have it like this. We can have it like that. We can also have it 1/2 x minus 3/2. Or we can also have it x over 2 minus 3/2. So all of those are exactly the same thing, but they are just written differently. But this is not the final answer and the right answer, okay? The only thing I'm missing is to write it with my inverse function notation. So that would be, oh my God. That would be this right here. Or all of the above, okay? But you do have to have this part right here. If you leave it with the y, it's gonna be wrong. You have to go and use f of negative 1x. And you could have it with this part that I just have. You can have it like this, or you can have it like this. Does anybody have any questions on that?
No.
No. Okay. Alrighty.
Alrighty.